Welcome back to Thursday's Tactical Tip. I'm Yoki Marks here at Warrior's Edge Armory, and today we're going to talk about how to tell if someone is carrying a firearm. I can tell you that when I was just starting my concealed carry, I would put my firearm on, had it in the waistband holster. Before I leave the house, I would stop, okay, check, okay, is it good? No one can see it. Am I printing a little bit? Maybe I need a different shirt. It would be a 20-minute routine just to get out of the house in the morning. As I was walking around throughout the day, I would go to pick something up in the store. Oh no, what if my gun just showed? What if my shirt rode up? Did someone see that? I started like picking things up all funny so no one could tell. It was ridiculous. I would constantly reach and just make sure my gun is there, set my arm on it, and then I developed this amazing plan. I always carry strong side hip, so I would reach back to scratch my back and then slide my hand over so I could make sure my gun was still there. That was super sneaky. No one could ever tell what I was doing. Eventually, though, I got more comfortable and stopped doing the constant check to make sure the gun is there. I trusted my gear, the holster I was wearing. I trusted my gun, and I learned what it felt like when my firearm was on me. If you're new to concealed carry, I'm sure you're now thinking of all the times you have done stuff just like that. If you've been carrying for a long time, maybe you remember some of the things you did. I'd love to see right below in the comments some of the ridiculous things you've done to make sure your concealed weapon stays concealed. But you have to realize that the same things I just talked about are things that criminals do if they have a firearm on them as well. Some very interesting facts. If a criminal is carrying a firearm, they rarely carry it in a holster. The reason for this is simple. Something bad happens, cops are coming, they take the gun, they toss it. Cops come, they find the gun, they look at the person has an empty holster on. I wonder whose gun that is. Therefore, they carry stuck in the waistband of their clothing or in their pocket. That way, if they need to ditch the gun, they can ditch it and, oh, I don't know what's going on. It's not mine. Because of that, they're constantly worried that their gun is shifting out of place or about to fall, which leads to some common things to look for as you're out and about in your daily life to see who is carrying a firearm or could be carrying a firearm. First thing that you want to look for is obviously the suspicious gun-shaped bulge on their hip. Second thing is the constant touching to make sure the firearm is still there. They'll be walking around, they'll touch, they'll hold it, they'll readjust. Other thing is often whatever side of their clothing they have that firearm in, if it's in a jacket pocket, a pants pocket, or on the belt, that side of their clothing is hanging lower than the other side. The other thing that you'll often notice, maybe it's middle of the summer and it's 90 degrees outside, yet they're wearing a heavy cover garment. They're wearing a long coat that is covering their waistband. It is dressing in a way that is unusual for your area or for the weather. Something to look for. Now, just because you notice some of these cues doesn't mean that the person who is carrying the gun is necessarily a bad person. They may just be new to concealed carry. But keep it in mind. Keep in mind that that person could be a threat. I'm not telling you to profile based on race, based on anything like that. What I'm telling you is this. It's something to keep your eyes open for. If you see those clues, you see that gun print, you see maybe the gun is showing completely. You see them touching, fidgeting, adjusting. That could be someone who could eventually become a threat. Keep an eye out for them. You don't need to draw your gun, prone them out, get your flex cuffs out of your pocket and arrest them. But you do want to keep your eyes on them. You want to know where they are because they could be a threat. Watch for their other behavior too. Again, concealed carry holder, one of the sheepdogs, they're going to act different than someone who has criminal intent in mind. Therefore, if the person who you noticed has that suspicious gun-shaped bulge on their hip, constant checking, dressed unusual for the weather, and they're target glancing, they're looking around, they see a police car drive by and they kind of tense up a little bit, probably not a valid concealed carry holder. Look for those cues. Look for them in yourself as well. Are you constantly checking to see if your gun is still there? If so, maybe you need a better holster, better equipment, so you have more confidence. Are you constantly checking to see if your cover garment is perfect? Again, maybe you need to carry an in the waistband holster as opposed to an outside the waistband. But the main thing to remember is this. It is your responsibility to make sure you are safe, to make sure your family is safe, and if you carry concealed, to do so in the proper manner. Look around next time you go out. Look for people, look at their waistline, see if you can figure out if they have a firearm or not. 1, it's a fun game. 2, it helps you become more observant. And 3, it allows you to play the what if game at a different level. Because now if you see someone who you're pretty sure has a firearm, you can then say, what if this person decided to draw the gun and start shooting people? Where would I be? What is my backdrop? Do I need to draw when they do? And you can start playing that what if game, therefore staying a little closer to that action-reaction gap. Again, I'm Yoki Marks with Warriors Edge Armory. Hope you have a great Thursday. I look forward to seeing you next week.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next time we're going to be back out at the range again doing some drills. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and share it. And as always, it's appreciated when you guys subscribe. Till next time, take care and be safe.